Good morning. Good morning. Happy Mommy Mondays. If you're new to Mommy Mondays, I'm Key Ortiz, and you're in for a treat. Today starts our special edition of Month of Mothers, and we're taking a trip around the world. And you might ask, why would we do something like this? It's because in this world of so much confusion and so many conversations around motherhood, I think it's important that we would value the benefit of talking with other mothers around the world. So, all the mothers I present to you this month will be mothers from other countries or mothers with different experience than what we consider the norm, in hopes that we start a conversation on accepting all types of motherhood, but also asking the question, what part of my experience is reality as a mother, or what part of it is about culture? Because culture really does impact our experience. So today, I get to introduce to you a good friend of mine, Brenda. She is a mother of three. She also has a special needs son, Mateo. And if you follow us in the comment, I'll also share with you a link that you can hear Mateo's story. But for now, I introduce to you Brenda. Brenda, what? First, thank you so much for being here on Mommy Mondays. You have no idea what this means to me to be able to share you with the world. Even last year, when I thought about Mommy Mondays, Month of Mothers, highlighting moms around the world, you were the first person I thought of because your life is so dynamic. It's so many parts, even on down to having to break down what part do I want to ask Brenda about. So thank you for your openness. Thank you for saying yes, and thank you for being with us today.
No, thank you for thinking of me. Thank God. And yeah, it's a privilege to be
Amen.
part of this amazing project.
Awesome. Thank you. You guys, we're so lucky to have her today. So, Brenda, tell the people a little bit about yourself. What has your journey been like to becoming a mom?
Okay. First of all, well, my name is Brenda. I am 38 years old, and I have been a mom now for 8 years. My oldest, he just turned 8.
Woo.
Yes. So I just after so many years of trying, well,
No, tell them how many years.
8 years actually.
8 years? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, 8 years.
Amen.
2006, we decided that we wanted to start a family while stationed in Japan. Actually, my husband is he's been in the military for 20 years now, and so we were stationed in Japan, and then we decided like, okay, I think it's time, and we were only like 22 years old.
Okay.
But I don't know, like when we got over there, like we were around so many people, like they having kids, and then I was like, you know what, I think we should start trying, it should be cool to have a kid born in Japan,
Right, a Puerto Rican born in Japan.
yeah, exactly, so yeah, we start trying, but it didn't happen. Not the first year, not the second. Actually, after the first year, I tried having like a treatment.
Like IVF or just?
Oh no, they just offered me like pills, some
Okay.
pills to ovulate, like help me to ovulate, and then but yeah, it didn't happen. Like no, they did all the tests on me and on my husband, and everything came back normal. It was just not happening, and they put me like unfertile,
Unfertile?
infertile, like on no infertility, infertility, on no infertility. I was like that for so many years, like so we left. I was like, we left Japan. We got here to Fort Bragg in 2009, and I start again. Like, okay, let's start again because something has to be happening again. And the that journey is tired. Like doing all the tests, like some of the tests, like
Yeah,
to
they're
see them
invasive.
the fallopian tube, just to check that it's not that it hurt a little bit, So, and then yeah, like blood, and then started getting treatment, but no, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like where I was like, well, I don't know. I don't think is the time yet. But I wasn't thinking in that time, like I didn't know God how I know now, but other things were happening. So like in my marriage and everything. So I was like, you know what? Let's try to forget. And then people say that no, when you like, or especially in my family, like, you know what? When just stop thinking about that.
Right. It'll just happen. You can't think too much about
But
it.
they didn't wear it. They didn't. How you say that? Oh my god. Este, they wasn't there when a negative test came,
They
and
don't
all
know
the
that feeling.
exactly like I'm from Puerto Rico, so my English not my first language, but since being in the military and moving to the States, well, I had to learn, right? So, but yeah, it was kind of hard. It was sad, it's a lot of tears. But my husband always was like, like
the rock.
everything is good. Everything is gonna happen.
Of course, because he
Yeah.
likes practicing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You keep doing it. I'll sacrifice.
Yeah, but he was a good, a very good support on me. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually. Blah, blah. But it wasn't until 8 years later, um, while we stationed in Italy, and I just finished an IUI. That's the only thing, the only test that I did.
Okay.
We didn't went to the IVF because it's expensive,
Yeah. What's IUI?
In insemination artificial.
Oh, okay. So when actually inseminated, because the IVF is when you take the shots and everything like that. So they inseminated directly.
Yes.
Okay.
So we did that.
Okay.
But going back a little bit, 2012, we were stationed in Germany, and that's where I started, going to church. And I think it was the first day I went to church, like I got a word from God, like, you're gonna be a mother. That's your most desire. You just need to wait. Ooh. And wait is hard.
Yeah.
Everything waiting is hard. So yeah, but then after then 2 years later, while we're stationed in Italy, and then after having a failed IUI, I was like, you know what, God, I just put it to God, like, just do it whenever you can, just do it. And I start focusing on me. I was turning 30, so I started, eating better, eating healthy, doing more exercise. I love exercise, but doing exercise and just focus on me. And it happened, it happened.
So our families were right when you stop focusing on it.
Exactly. At the end, it was right. Yes.
Wow, and then we had Mateo.
Yes. Yeah.
And you guys, so I know Brenda because my mother-in-law has a church in Germany. That's the church that she went to. And I remember your story before I even met you, because in my own pregnancy struggle, they were like, she went through a similar thing, trust God. Brenda was worried, cried, all the things, and then God blessed her. And I was like, but that's her story, that's not mine. You know what I mean? And then just being encouraged by your story that he will do it in his timing. You know what I mean? You trust in him. And then sometimes people's timing may be adopting, it may be other things, but
I was actually looking through information about adopt. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it goes back to whatever you have peace about,
Mhm.
right? And so just that whole story is awesome. And one thing I love about being adopted into the Puerto Rican family is you guys have so many cultural customs, so many things that you guys do that I absolutely love. Even we were talking about like Puerto Ricans, if you ever meet a Puerto Rican, they will give you a hug and a kiss.
Yes.
This is not an
First date.
advancement.
Like right away.
And just like, and I remember when Jonathan first did that to me, I was like, oh my gosh, he likes me. And then I found no,
He likes
that's
you.
what Puerto Ricans. Well,
He likes you.
but that was, and I was like, oh my goodness. And that's one thing I love about the Puerto Rican culture is you guys are so family oriented,
Yes.
very loving. And so then when you had, because now you have 3 children.
Yes, I have 3.
And then your daughter and your son, they came without any intervention or anything like that. So they found nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You waited. Then you have Mateo. Then you have Marcus.
Yes.
And then give me your daughter's name one more time.
Mariana.
I just want to make sure I said Mariana. Beautiful children.
Yes.
So you were raised in, you're Puerto Rican. You're raised in Puerto Rico.
Yes, until my husband joined the army, and we left at 19 years old. I was 19 years old when I left Puerto Rico. We love where we come from, and we always go. Like, I think yes.
And they don't take me.
Yes, I will.
Because I'm like,
you want to go in summertime?
Sure.
We're going.
Look, I'll go anytime. But like, because like, so when you do that, are there some things that you want your children to adopt and learn about your culture?
Yes.
What are some things you want them to learn about Puerto Rico?
Yes, my 3 kids born here in North Carolina, but I always encouraging this, especially my middle one, like, you are Puerto Rican. You're Puerto Rican. You know 2 languages because we speak Spanish at home most of the time. But now that he's in school, obviously the English is coming more. But yeah, I mean, I always like, if somebody is asking, you know 2 languages. I want to encourage him. Like, I always say to him, like, you need to be proud of that. Yeah. Like. And for him not to forget the Spanish,
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, like, their kids doesn't speak Spanish. I'm like, how you are, Latino, Puerto Rican, and your kids doesn't know Spanish,
Yeah,
and I don't want that. And since we joined the army and we live, we have met a lot of people, like, different cultures. And that's what I knew, like, but why they don't speak Spanish? That when they start school, I'm like, no, I always was thinking about that. The day I have kids, I want them to speak both, because that's good. That's nice. And I always, kids are in school, like, sometimes I'm mean, so I'm always encourage my son, like, I'm bilingual.
Yeah.
Bilingual. Like, I always, try to encourage him over him. That's it. And I repeat, talk me back in Spanish, because I talk in Spanish to him, and then he reply me in English, and I'm like, no, what you saying? In Spanish, please.
Yeah, and that's
but
it's fine
because of that.
Yeah, so that's for you. That's pride. Like, that's. I want you to be proud of our culture, our heritage, and one of those things is speaking Spanish. Because you do find a lot of Latinos that can understand Spanish but can't speak it.
And my goal is to write and read. Like, right now he write it, but for the reading part, it's getting hard because he's learning to read in English. And I was in the beginning, like, because I always taught him, like, everything in both languages. Since he was like 2 years old, I was like, okay, the colors, the numbers, everything at the same time. This isn't it, and your body parts. Yeah, that's the way I was doing it. I did it with him, and I'm doing now with my daughter. Okay, she is 2 years old now, but now I was trying to do it with the reading, but let me don't be so hard on him, and then, okay, just learn how to read in English, and then we will find out, eventually. But yeah, I mean, like, and every time we go to Puerto Rico, like, like, this is the food, and yeah, this is all, we like this, we like that, the sport, the baseball, everything is baseball. Like,
It's
yeah,
true. That is true. That's huge.
yeah. And the places, when we go over there, I want them to experience everything. The rivers, the beach, the mountain, everything. So
That's awesome.
and he love it. Like he can't wait. He says sometimes he can't wait to grow up to go to Puerto Rico. But he said, I'm like, for now we going as a family. That's why. And of course, because the family is away. Like, and we talk with them. My parents, my in-law. They are always doing videos and everything. So yeah, I don't want them. I want them like to they feel they have been. They're far, but they are close in that. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So, like, just as a side note, what is one tip that you would give to parents that are trying to raise bilingual children? What's a tip that you would give them?
Yeah, do it at the same time. Like, yeah,
just be consistent with
it. Consistent with that. Like, okay, the body parts, Spanish, read it, say it in Spanish and then in English, or in English and then in Spanish.
So keep it. Yeah, because I even know sometimes, like, there's a delay, they say sometimes with bilingual children. And so if you're thinking in your mind, like, your kid needs to be speaking by this point in time, it could be the bilingual piece.
Well, in that part, I was worried about that, but I asked in speech pathology about that because I have my oldest. His special need, and then he take, and actually Marcus took a speech therapy when right away when he was 18 months. I was thinking that he was kind of behind, so I put him in speech therapy, and he was until 3 years old, and they said, okay, he's talking as a 3 years old, so
good.
And I was thinking that I was asking the therapist, and they say no.
Really?
Yeah, they say no. Just you keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Because their mind is, they can do it. And now, I say Marcus, he speak both.
Okay, that's good to know. Because look, I'm trying to get the kids to do Spanish.
Do it.
Like I need the help with it. Okay. So when we talk about your children, one thing I want to highlight is your son Mateo. Your oldest son, who just celebrated his 8th birthday. Mateo is special needs. And one question I wanted to ask you that I want to highlight too is, do you prefer people to call him disabled or with special needs?
I like to hear better special needs.
And why is that?
Because we always, I think I'm talking in regard that on the other mom with kids like that. Let's say atypical kids. So we like always to think and to have that faith that they will continue to get better or do other things like and progress or whatever of their so I think a person is disabled, and I respect because some kids, well, they don't do it is what it is, but and I don't know, because it's always a chance to get better eventually or do things that they don't do, unless it's an actual, if it's life, it's everything,
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying, like if they are alive, they can achieve. You say they I learned in this journey like inch stones, and for me that's the best. Like, okay, like when my kid was 16 months old, he wasn't even crawling. He started crawling at 16 months old. When a typical kid is already running, you know. And when he started, it was like he was doing the movement. That's an issue. Okay, and that was enough for me, you know. Yeah, and yeah. So I think, putting back to the disabled, like personally, I don't like that word.
Mhm.
I prefer special needs.
Okay,
But
and I'm gonna
because they do need a special, like treatment, but like for that doesn't mean that they cannot do it.
Yeah, I think I get you saying like disabled means it's more permanent, it's more you're limited.
Uh-huh.
This is the way you are. Special needs is you can still do those things. You just need additional assistance.
Like a more time maybe, but eventually it will happen. That's the way I've been dealing. Like this is a one day at a time. That's my word. I'm gonna put it here.
I think we all should live that way.
One
even if we
day
don't have a special
exactly
because there's so much pressure that your kid has to.
Exactly.
And
do this, do that. Like okay, yeah.
They'll do it at their own time.
Yeah.
One mom that I met that she helped me so much. She said, if your kid can't tie their shoe at 2, it's okay. They're not going to be 30 years old still struggling to tie their shoe. You know what I mean? At some point, they will get it. I think we're just like, you gotta potty change by this time. You gotta, and it's like realistically,
that society, like they wanted to leave us like
stress, chaotic, and so like with Mateo, what is his actual diagnosis as far as being special needs?
Yeah, well, Mateo was born with a gene mutation called CAGNA1A. That covers like that's a thing that comes from the brain. It's like a more neurological. So the main thing is the epilepsy.
Okay.
So yeah, so he needs to be in medication. In his control for it's gonna be 2 years, and I'm so happy.
May 2 years.
Yes,
no seizures.
In May it's gonna be 2 years without a seizure, and but he's controlled with medication. And I have faith someday he doesn't need that medication, but for now it is what it is. So, and I'm happy that he doesn't be in that because that's one scary thing. Like that I don't want nobody to experience that. Yeah. But yeah.
Yes.
That's that's his main thing. That because of that, well, he had other things that caused him the mild autism that he has, and he he started working a month before turning 5. And that was another goal for me, and for him, and so he has some weakness in his muscles, but he's a pretty active boy.
He's always moving. In church today, he's moving there on his iPad. He'll let you know. He'll make a sound if he wants your attention. Move out his way.
Exactly.
That, and he can communicate.
Yeah, he's receiving all the therapy, all the therapy that he needs for now, and he's going over there. Like the only I would say right now his speech, he's nonverbal, but he's vocal. So
because you can hear him.
Yes. But I mean, it's been good. It's been a slow process, but he's getting there, and I have faith that someday, he will actually,
Go each stone.
Go each stone.
So then, as we're wrapping up,
every each stone counts.
Yes, and I think that's even for us as adults too.
Yeah.
So with wrapping up, I want to ask you, especially as we're a community of moms where we want to educate ourselves and educate our children.
Yes.
What are the top 3 things you would want us to know about having a special needs child or being a special needs family?
Well, I think the first and most is acceptance. And to be honest, I've been dealing still with that because, who wants to be a mom so bad, then your child, it's different.
Yeah.
Just to say it like that. But acceptance as a mom, and always and also for the other people. Like other people need to learn that it's different, and especially kids, as a mom, teach your kid that there is different
Yeah.
All the kids, but do not exclude him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so acceptance, and then patience. As I know, patience is everything, but
Yeah.
but in this journey, yeah, patience is the key.
So, like, when you say patience, right? Because I think sometimes, even when we're dealing with other cultures and we're dealing with someone that's special needs, I automatically, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, I automatically kind of make myself like, look, hey, like if it's a different, I'll speak slowly. Or if I notice a child is special needs, you know, speak low, calm. I don't come off at them certain ways. We're like, if we're going to be patient, what does that look like? We just met you for the first time. What does that look like to be patient?
Is like be put you in the position of that mom. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, it's not, because sometimes, I mean, I've been dealing with everybody, all kind of people.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
can imagine people.
Don't feel sorry because I don't say it because no, I mean, well, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, I mean, like okay, in the case of my son or other autism kids, you know, sometimes they scream out loud, you know, like you don't judge that mom right and that kid right away.
Yeah.
Like why he's screaming, why he cannot, because I have no, and I hear these things like yeah, like to other people, like and my sister, she working in Puerto Rico in a jurisdiction like a, and she was telling me I have to actually kick somebody out because she was telling stuff like it was another person, a mom with the child. He cannot be still. He was screaming like and she was saying why she cannot handle him. You cannot just you don't know what's happening with that mom. And then sometimes also like people like why people like to judge like why that child is in the crowd. You don't know how many times she's telling him to not do that.
Yeah.
I have learned that. Maybe I was one of the one without kids telling or saying
what I would do. My child ain't gonna do that.
Oh, why the mom doesn't say anything to that child? No, don't say that. Now I know like because you don't know how many times or what kind of stuff is being with that kid that he cannot do it. So
I like that.
I think that's one of the patient.
Yeah, be patient. Don't jump to assuming. Don't jump to accusations. Be patient, assess, or just keep it moving.
Yeah,
you don't have to be in that environment. Like, I think that's so good that you said that. So you said acceptance, patience, and what's the last one?
Learn how to get help, like, or seek for help. Like, okay, I cannot handle this all by myself. It's not I'm gonna get crazy. Learn how to get help in the sense of having a friend, to help me with the kids. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Or if you have a friend, like be understanding with her. Like, okay, you see her struggling, because we're not perfect. I mean, and I'm not perfect. And I've been trying to get that patience, like okay, because my son doesn't talk, so he cannot communicate, he cannot, and that get him frustrated, and I have been learning how to. I think that's a mom power that know what he needs in the moment, because he cannot tell me. So, but sometimes for me it's hard. Like in the moment, okay, I'm doing everything that I know that he likes or what's happening, and he's still crying or screaming. So if you're there, please help me. Please come over here. Okay. Let me see what But don't ask me what's happening to him, because I don't know.
So I think that's so good that you said that, because
And that happened to me all the time.
Yeah, because
But-
we don't necessarily know what to do.
Mhm.
So, okay, in that instance, let's talk me and you real
Okay.
quick. We're in church. Mateo is
Mhm.
upset. You're trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
In that situation, would you like me, like, would help look like checking on your other kids? Would help look like, because I know right now that's not good for me to ask you.
Mhm.
What would help
Don't
look
ask
like?
me what's happening.
Okay, don't ask what's happening.
Just go and or take him to do another thing to Mateo, or help me with my other kids, you know.
Okay, so go to Mateo, grab a
what you
snack,
need,
talk.
Brenda.
Okay.
You know, like okay, because sometimes I do need things, you know. Like,
So you would want us to ask you the question, hey, what do you need? What can I help with? Versus what's happening.
Yeah.
So it's okay to ask
because
you
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, what's happening to him? Exactly that. Yeah.
That's along the lines of, I've heard this one thing or this meme, no world has saying to someone calm down ever calmed them down. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's like what's happening? Like I'm about to tell you what's happening to you like right now. You know what I mean? But that's good because we might call that helping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's not helpful.
No.
Be direct. What do you need? Or make sure check on your other kids. Give you that space you need to for you to get patience.
Or maybe you know, maybe he doesn't want to be with me in that moment. I'm his mom and everything, but you know.
It's good to know. And I think we need it. And one thing I can honestly say about House of Restoration, you know, my mother-in-law's church, you guys actually had an autistic speaker come who specializes with autism and teaching.
And I'm so glad she did that.
Yes, they taught us about handling, what does it look like, the spectrum of it, because it's important as a church. You know, we want to help you. We can't be like, oh no, we can't take Mateo because we don't understand what's going on with him. Like the youth ministry, the children ministry needs to know, you know, what are some things, what does help look like. And so I really, really encourage, if you're a church or a place, to educate your staff, educate your team on autism, special needs. Yes, and that was huge because there's a lot that I learned. You know,
even me, I took the workshop and I was like, oh my god, yeah, I need because you know, it helped me like see the things to the other perspective also.
From somebody that's actually autistic. Where it's coming. So I think that's so cool, and so I definitely really, really appreciate this because even in this conversation, I've learned more about you, which is funny because I know you for years, but we never actually sat down and had that conversation. And to be honest, the reason why I never personally had that conversation is because I think sometimes acceptance for us may look like avoidance. Like, don't ask her about Mateo. Don't ask questions because I don't want to offend. I don't want to. But to hear you say, no, ask the questions. Help me be in it with me. Is huge. So I'm going to be in it with you. And I pray that, which just this whole month of mothers and highlighting other cultures and people, it's about what does acceptance look like in the importance, because we can assume certain things because you're Puerto Rican, because I'm Black, because you have a special needs child, or because you're military. We make all these assumptions, and we're really making moms feel more isolated than just motherhood. But like motherhood is isolating enough. Now we add on these layers, and then we wonder why we burn out, tired, stressed out.
Exactly.
Just we really need that community. So thank you again so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're awesome. We were worried about the language and things of that nature, but it was great. And I hope you guys, I'm going to put in the comments, the organizations that we're highlighting for special needs. Please feel free to donate. Please take workshops, get yourself educated, educate your children, because
that's important.
Special needs family, Puerto Ricans, they're they're part of our community, and we really need to educate ourselves. So.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
Love you guys, and learn how to kiss and hug so you can read Puerto Rican.
That's the best
properly.
thing.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day on purpose. Talk to you soon.